Freude, 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 schöner Götterfunken, Tochter aus Elysium, wir betreten feuertrunken, himmlische dein Heiligtum, deine Zauber binden wieder, was die Mode streng geteilt, alle Menschen milden Brüder, nun ein sanfter Flügel weilt.
Dear ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues and friends, welcome to the European Congress of Radiology 2020. This is an ECR like no other that we have ever had before. I certainly never imagined that I would be addressing you through this online medium today. After serving the European Society of Radiology for many years, in 2019, I took on the most challenging role of ECR president. And it was my privilege to lead the organization of ECR 2020. Many of us worked hard for our Congress, from presenters and national and subspecialty societies to industry partners and ECR office staff. We had such an incredible meeting planned, and I know from the correspondence I have received from many colleagues and friends that the cancellation of the on-site Congress was very upsetting. But this was the only possible decision to make in such complex and unforeseen circumstances. Adaptation and innovation have always been strengths of the ECR, and having already established itself as a leader in online education over the past few years, the Society rose to the challenge and made the decision to transform ECR 2020 into a fully online Congress. A digital Congress is not the same as an on-site one. However, over the past few months, the ECR has made it an absolute priority to deliver a meeting that still captures as much of the atmosphere and interactivity of the ECR as possible, and to transfer as much cutting-edge science, valuable education, and extraordinary style from our on-site program into what can only be described as a Congress of the future, ECR 2020 Online. Over the course of the next 5 days, you will be treated to a packed scientific and educational program featuring a whole range of sessions from our plenary lectures and imaging interpretation quiz to satellite symposia and ECR meets sessions. As ever, our topic range is diverse and will also cater to radiographers and medical physicists. The Program Planning Committee has prepared superb educational sessions in all fields of radiology, suitable for beginners and very advanced professionals. I would like to profoundly thank all the members of ECR Scientific Program Department for the very efficient and smooth coordination and adaptation of the program into an online format. Aside from the educational and scientific program, we have an excellent opportunity to learn about the latest trends and innovations and exchange perspectives with our industry colleagues at the virtual exhibition. More than 200 companies are taking part in our virtual exhibition, providing you all with the opportunity to arrange live chats with company reps, watch product demonstrations, or simply stroll through the virtual exhibition center. Holding an online congress means we are not constrained by time. So we have decided that the Congress will continue through the end of 2020. From the end of July to December, we will be organizing a series of highlight weeks, from artificial intelligence to hybrid imaging, to radiography and interventional radiology. Each week will be dedicated to a certain subspecialty or theme. The Children in Focus program will also make a special appearance during the Pediatric Week. In addition to these highlight weeks, with the help from our many abstract submitters, we have created a library of recorded lectures on hundreds of different topics. I'm delighted to say that we have received more than 9,000 abstracts for this meeting, a new ECR record, which again shows that the desire to be a part of this magnificent event is still on an upward trend. Many of these abstracts and their accompanying lectures will be available for all attendees to view until the end of this year, and I do hope you make a good use of them. Of course, the annual meeting is the centerpiece of the year for the European Society of Radiology, but it should not be forgotten that our society is also working hard all the time on a great many projects with the aim of harmonizing radiological teaching, practice, and research in Europe. The world has been truly shaken by the COVID-19 pandemic, both in its scale and the speed with which it has spread. The ESR has worked hard to support radiology through the dissemination of important educational content, which has been made accessible to anyone who needs it. Many radiology professionals have had to work on the front lines in helping to scan, diagnose, and treat afflicted patients. I would like to thank all those radiographers and radiologists in hospitals and institutions across the world who have worked hard to fight this awful disease. Your dedication to caring for patients, even when putting yourselves at risk, is the strongest example of the compassion, understanding, and love that lies at the core of our professions. I would also like for us to remember that thousands of people working in healthcare have sacrificed their lives to care for patients. I would ask you all to join me now in a moment of silent remembrance for these colleagues. As you all know, the crisis is far from over. We have to work together to overcome the challenges that the pandemic has caused. One way is through scientific exchange, and I believe that ECR 2020 provides the perfect opportunity for this. The ECR is the largest multi-professional radiological meeting in Europe, where European and international experts pass on their knowledge to radiology residents, young and senior radiologists, physicists, radiographers and students, and where we share our perspectives with industry representatives. I'm very grateful to everyone who plays their part in this, but especially our invited speakers who share their knowledge and expertise with their colleagues. The ESR is indebted to all of you. Finally, I would like to thank everyone who is participating as an attendee of ECR 2020. Your continued dedication to the ECR, ESR, and radiology has been our guiding light through these difficult times. Our members will always be our #1 priority, and although this is not the meeting we originally wanted to give you, we nonetheless hope that you find it to be a compelling and memorable one. Adagio in G minor by Tommaso Albinoni, one of the most famous pieces of classical music in the world. The spirit of this beautiful work is really in its sense of calm. This is the essence of Adagio. And that is our guiding philosophy for this year's Congress, to take a step back and think different. We love to bring a sense of flair to radiology and represent the spirit of science. Radiology is, by its very nature, the most visual field of medical science, and we can depict an incredible variety of physical things. But not everything can be visualized literally, even by us. The spirit can only be imagined through art. It is all we need to be creative, and as scientists, we must aspire to be just as creative as artists. It is my pleasure to collaborate here in Vienna with Lana Janjanin and her band. Lana is a talented young singer, songwriter, and pianist who began her journey in the same city as myself, Zagreb, Croatia. She graduated composition at the University of Music in Vienna, and now she lives between Zagreb and Vienna, allowing us the good fortune to enjoy her music tonight.
Dobro večer.
In the spirit of maintaining the connection between science and art, Lana and her band will greet each one of our honored guests later with a small performance. We have asked each of them to choose a piece that has special significance for them, and our musicians will provide their own unique ECR take on their choices. Honorary membership of the European Society of Radiology is bestowed each year upon eminent radiologists for their scientific excellence, international reputation, and achievements in national or international radiological organizations. Dante Casale Menier from Mexico has done incredible work on behalf of the radiological community in Mexico and Latin America and has played a huge role in boosting international cooperation between Europe and his home region. In 1989, he helped to form the first radiological society in Ciudad Juarez and was appointed its founding president. In this role, he represented the Mexican Federation of Radiology for more than 13 years and was subsequently appointed as the Federation's secretary, president-elect, and finally president. In 2014, he also served as the president of Colegio Interamericano de Radiología. He is currently head of imaging at Ángeles Hospital in Ciudad Juarez, president-elect of the Mexican Board of Radiology, and chair of the Mexican Federation of Radiology's International Affairs Committee. I am full of admiration for his work and, perhaps most importantly, his excellent singing voice. Dante has chosen a piece of music that perhaps contains the perfect sentiment to start our journey this evening with warm-hearted simplicity. What a wonderful world!
For me, it's a true honor, and naturally, I'm very grateful to receive this recognition. I never imagined I could have received such an important recognition. I thank God for giving me the opportunity of being here. I would like to thank President Boris Brkljačić and the members of the Executive Board of the ESR for choosing me. Thanks to my teachers who taught me, inspired me, and encouraged me to maintain my efforts at the highest standard. This has greatly influenced me throughout my career as a radiologist. Thanks to my colleagues who believe in me and supported me to be involved in radiology societies, to the Mexican Federation of Radiology, the Inter-American College of Radiology, and the Mexican Board of Radiology, which have allowed me to meet many good and great people who have greatly influenced me for the better. But this wouldn't have been possible without the unconditional support I have always received from my family. I thank my parents who encouraged me during my medical education and career. Thanks to my dear wife Melinda, who has always supported me in my decisions since the beginning of my radiology residency. And thanks to my daughters, Melinda, Liliel, and Adria Melissa, for allowing me to dedicate more time to radiology. I love you three. Congratulations to all the recipients of the honorary member and gold medal. And above all, congratulations to the ESR for continuing this tradition of the annual ECR. In such hard times due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and adapting this year wonderful program to meet the current needs of the radiological and global community. Thank you all.
Our second honorary member of the night is Professor Yi Hong Chu from Taipei City, Taiwan, Chinese Taipei. He is rightly known for his great contributions to ultrasound and abdominal imaging, but today we are celebrating in particular his contributions to improving radiology education across Asia and Oceania and strengthening ties between Asia, Oceania, and Europe. He has held a vast number of positions of influence in radiology throughout his career, including presidencies of the Asian Oceanian Society of Radiology, the Asian Society of Abdominal Radiology, the Asian Federation of Societies for Ultrasound in Medicine and Biology, the Society of Ultrasound in Medicine of the Republic of Taiwan, and the Asian Breast Diseases Association. He is currently Chair and Professor of Radiology at Yuan Pei University of Medical Technology and National Yang Ming University School of Medicine, Vice President of the World Federation of Ultrasound in Medicine and Biology, and Editor-in-Chief of the Journal of Medical Ultrasound, the official journal of the EFSUM. Yi Hong and I have spent some great times together at many past ECRs, and everyone at the ESR hugely appreciates his role in our excellent relationships with the AOSR. Professor Chu has chosen a piece that is deeply beloved by many in Taiwan, The Torment of a Flower, also known as Rainy Night Flowers, a beautiful melody that contains an unmistakable feeling of hope.
Mr. President Boris Brkljačić, members of the Executive Council of ESR, members of ESR colleagues and friends. I'm deeply honored by being chosen as an honorary member of the European Society of Radiology. Thanks to members of the Executive Council, especially President Boris Brkljačić, this is the most glorious award in my life. I'm lucky to have great mentors to guide me working through the beauty of radiology and so many wonderful colleagues to work with. This award means a lot to me. Many thanks to Professor Boris Brkljačić, Professor Bernholm, Professor Paul Barizzo, Professor Lorenzo Durci. They have been continuously working hard for enhancing the collaboration between the West and the East radiology communities. I would like to share this honor with my friends from Asia, especially Taiwan. Many thanks for the support from my family, my wife, and our 3 children. And finally, I would like to congratulate the success of the first online ECR 2020 in the ESR history, and hope you enjoy the fruitful online congress. And please stay safe in the period of COVID-19 pandemic. Thank you very much again.
Now it is my pleasure to introduce you to Professor Valerie Jackson from Tucson, Arizona, United States of America. Professor Jackson has made a tremendous contribution to the advancement of radiology, especially in education, and her field of expertise, breast imaging. She has served as president of both the Society of Breast Imaging and the American College of Radiology, and in the leadership positions for numerous other imaging organizations. And as the immediate past president of RSNA, she has held one of the most influential positions in medicine, providing great leadership and taking good care of a huge part of our grand forest of radiology. She is currently the Eugene C. Clate Professor Emeritus of Radiology at Indiana University School of Medicine in Indianapolis, Indiana, USA, the institution where she graduated in 1978 and which she has served in numerous roles throughout her career. She is also the Executive Director of the American Board of Radiology. Valerie is not only a fantastic breast radiologist, but also entertaining, providing great company, and most importantly, a wonderful example to all aspiring leaders in our discipline. Professor Jackson has chosen Beethoven's Piano Sonata No. 14 in C-sharp minor, popularly known as the Moonlight Sonata.
Thank you to the ESR for this tremendous honor. I can't believe that I've been so fortunate to be able to get to know so many radiologists around the world and to interact with leaders of the European radiology community. I never set out to do many of the things that I've done in my career, but credit my good fortune and wonderful friends and mentors for their support all along the way. I'd like to thank the RSNA. They trusted me with many leadership positions over the years and have been my springboard to the ESR. I'd like to thank my many friends and mentors, but in particular, Drs. Eugene Clate and Robert Holden, who let me into radiology residency in the first place and then have helped to guide me for many years. I'd like to thank my family. Unfortunately, my parents are no longer alive, but they would be so proud of this moment. I'd like to thank my brother, Dr. Bob Pascuzzi. Bob came with me to the ECR meeting last year and was planning to come this year. I'd also like to thank my son, Price Jackson III, who's a medical physicist in Australia. I am so proud of him. He's been very tolerant of my many hours of work and travel over the years, so thank you to him. We're going through very challenging times, but if the global community of radiology works together, we will get through this. Again, I am so thrilled and honored to be an honorary member of the ESR. Stay safe and be well.
The gold medal of the European Society of Radiology is only presented to outstanding scientists who work in radiology or allied sciences and have been active in the organization and establishment of European radiology in either national or international organizations. Dr. Richard Fitzgerald has had a prominent career as a radiologist, but with this award, we recognize especially his tremendous contribution to improving the working lives of radiologists and, in turn, the quality of their service to patients. He has served the Royal College of Radiologists in many roles, including as a member of its Radiology Faculty Board Standards Committee, Professional Support and Standards Board and Council, as well as Vice President between 2014 and 2017. Just as importantly, he has served as a mentor to countless individual radiologists, and in addition to his hard work in the UK, Dr. Fitzgerald has also been very active internationally. In particular, he has been an invaluable trusted advisor to the European Society of Radiology on such matters as teleradiology, regulation and EU legislation, as well as his work as part of the ECR Management in Radiology subcommittee. I have known Richard for many years, and I am very grateful for his friendship. I have learned a lot from him. I greatly admire his commitment to creating a culture of support within our field, and he very much deserves this award. Dr. Fitzgerald has chosen the prose poem Desiderata by American writer and poet Max Ehrmann. It would be hard to pick a piece of writing that more neatly ties in with our motto of Adagio, as it so elegantly encourages a calm, rational, and philosophical approach to life.
Desiderata by Max Ehrmann. Go placidly amid the noise and haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence. As far as possible, without surrender, be on good terms with all persons. Speak your truth quietly and clearly, and listen to others, even the dull and the ignorant. They too have their story. Avoid loud and aggressive persons. They are vexations to the spirit. If you compare yourself with others, you may become vain and bitter, for always there will be greater and lesser persons than yourself. Enjoy your achievements as well as your plans. Keep interested in your own career, however humble. It is a real possession in the changing fortunes of time. Exercise caution in your business affairs, for the world is full of trickery. But let this not blind you to what virtue there is. Many persons strive for high ideals, and everywhere life is full of heroism. Be yourself, especially do not feign affection, neither be cynical about love. For in the face of all aridity and disenchantment, it is as perennial as the grass. Take kindly the counsel of the years, gracefully surrendering the things of youth. Nurture strength of spirit to shield you in sudden misfortune, but do not distress yourself with dark imaginings. Many fears are born of fatigue and loneliness. Beyond a wholesome discipline, be gentle with yourself. You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here, and whether or not it is clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should. Therefore be at peace with God, whatever you conceive Him to be, and whatever your labors and aspirations, in the noisy confusion of life, keep peace with your soul. With all its sham, drudgery, and broken dreams, it is still a beautiful world. Be cheerful, strive to be happy.
I would like to thank the European Society of Radiology for the great honour of awarding me its gold medal. I realise what an immense privilege this is, coming from the largest radiological society in the world. I would like to take this opportunity to thank all those who've helped me during my career, during my training in Birmingham and the West Midlands, while a consultant in Wolverhampton, in the Royal College of Radiologists, and in the European Society of Radiology itself. I would also like to pay special thanks to my partner of 32 years, Richard Davies, who has provided such support and encouragement, and who has shared all my achievements, not least the Skull Medal. The European Society of Radiology has grown and demonstrated immense global leadership over its past 15 years. It will continue to do so, and I wish it every success in the future. It is so important that we work together. It will be easy to seek refuge in national and local strategies, but we have so much to learn from each other and can achieve so much more together. Thank you again for this honour. All the best for the future.
Professor Jim Rickers is one of the great pioneers of interventional radiology. Tonight, we recognize his outstanding work in that field, as well as his outspoken advocacy for image-guided treatment and evidence-based science. His research, tireless innovation, and devotion to sharing knowledge have brought him to the very forefront of interventional radiology. He has served his specialty as president of several national and international organizations, including the Cardiovascular and Interventional Radiological Society of Europe and the Interventional Radiology Division of the European Union of Medical Specialists. He is now Professor Emeritus of Radiology at Amsterdam University, the institution where he spent the previous 36 years teaching and inspiring generations of young interventional radiologists. Although now technically retired, he is still very active, particularly in his role as editor-in-chief of CVIR Endovascular. I have had the great pleasure of spending a lot of time with Jim on the ECR Executive Council as part of the ECR Program Planning Committee, and of course, spending time with him at many ECRs. Professor Rickers has chosen a song whose words offer a simple recognition that none of us make our achievements in isolation. Let's enjoy with a little help from my friends.
What would you think if I sang out of tune? Would you stand up and walk out of me? Lend me your ears and I'll sing you a song, and I'll try not to sing out of key. I get by with a little help from my friends. I get high with a little help from my friends. I'm gonna try with a little help from my friends. What do I do when my love is away? Does it worry you to be alone? How do I feel by the end of the day? Are you sad because you're on your own? I get by with a little help from my friends. I get high with a little help from my friends. I'm gonna try with a little help from my friends.
Dear Chairman of the ESR, dear Boris, dear members of the ESR Executive Board, thank you for the great honor to receive this prestigious gold medal. I see it as a golden crown on my career. Although I am an interventional radiologist by career, it's my deep conviction that interventional radiology and diagnostic radiology can never exist separately. This doesn't mean that I do not think that interventional radiology should not be a specialty, not a subspecialty, with independent clinical responsibilities and duties. That's obvious. But I also think that no interventional radiologist can ever or will ever survive without high and up-to-date diagnostic radiology skills. Both curricula should therefore always overlap, and a continuous, lifelong cross-fertilization is essential. IR skills have been proven in the last decade not to be unique, as some other medical specialists have stepped in our footsteps. But because they often lack any diagnostic knowledge, and especially at a high level, they will never ever reach any level of competence compared to a well-trained interventional radiologist. High-level diagnostic skills are the survival mode for interventional radiology. We are family, close family. I would not have been able to become what I am today without the help from my friends, diagnostic and interventional. Thanks again for this great honor.
Professor Katrine Ryklund has made an enormous contribution to radiology in Europe, especially through her leading roles in hybrid, molecular, and translational imaging, as well as on the wider stage within the ESR. Among her many achievements in imaging, she has provided a tremendous service to the European Society of Radiology in numerous capacities since 2009. After several years on various ESR committees, including as chair of the Finance Committee, she then served as Congress President at ECR 2016. Immediately following the ECR, she became the first person to hold the position of chair of the ESR Board of Directors. Her drive and vision were also central to the establishment of the European Society of Hybrid Medical Imaging, which later became the European Society for Hybrid Molecular and Translational Imaging. Since serving as founding president of the society, it has gone from strength to strength. She is a professor and senior consultant in diagnostic radiology and nuclear medicine and pro-vice chancellor of Umeå University. Having shared lots of time together on the ESR Executive Council, Katrine and I have been good friends for a number of years, and I have witnessed exactly how hard she has worked on behalf of the ESR and ESHI. This gold medal is thoroughly deserved. Her own daughters have chosen to mark their mother's award with a performance of their own. Tine, who will be dancing, and Josephine, who will sing Fields of Gold by Sting, together with Lana and her band.
You remember me when the west wind moves among the fields of barley. You can tell the sun in his jealous sky when we walked in fields of gold. So she took her love for to gaze a while among the fields of barley. In his arms she fell as her hair came down among the fields of gold. Will you stay with me? Will you be my love among the fields of barley? You can tell the sun in his jealous sky when we walked in fields of gold. I never made promises lightly, and there have been some that I have broken. But I swear in the days still left, we'll walk in fields of gold. We'll walk in fields of gold.
Ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, friends and family, we'll walk in fields of gold is a perfect description of radiology and hybrid imaging. Medical imaging walks fast, giving more advanced opportunities to help patients in a precise way. The friends in radiology all over the world are like fields of gold. ECR bring us all together. We meet during ECR, and together we move radiology forward. During my years in ECR, I have had the luxury of working with esteemed colleagues and a very professional staff team at the ECR office. I have learned a lot, and I hope I've helped to move radiology a bit further. It has been a wonderful period, and I'm so thankful. In 2016, the migration, an insecure world and closed borders was on the agenda. And today we have the pandemic with the coronavirus, which affect us all. And again, we have an insecure world and closed borders. I intensely hope the situation will stabilize, making the world secure and making it possible to meet in real life again. I must say, I miss you all. I have a fantastic support from my Umeå University and my university hospital. Thank you for that. But the most important is, however, my family, which support me and inspire me, whatever I do. Without my beloved husband Tore and our wonderful daughters Josephine and Tine, my life should not have been a walk in fields of gold. Thank you for being there. To top the story with the ECR gold medal today feels fantastic. Thank you all.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are coming close to the end of tonight's journey. Before we end, I would also like to thank the wonderful Lana Janjanin, her very talented band, and all of our excellent performers this evening. And all that remains now is for me to thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being our guests. I hope that you enjoyed tonight's unique opening, and it goes without saying that I very much look forward to seeing you all at ECR 2021 in Vienna, where I truly hope we can meet, share, laugh, and learn together again. But for now, one final time, let me welcome you to the European Congress of Radiology 2020.